You've spent so long trying to fix yourself that you've forgotten what it feels like to simply be whole. Every morning, you search your body for what still hurts, what still isn't right, what still needs repair. But what if today you stopped trying and started acting as though you were already healed? Healing begins the moment you stop identifying with the wound. When you say, "I am broken," your body believes you. When you whisper, "I am healed," every cell listens. Your body is not your enemy, it is your messenger. And right now, it is asking for new instructions. For years, you may have said, "When I'm well, I'll live again." But the truth is reversed. When you live again, you become well. When you smile, stretch, breathe, and move as though freedom already fills you, your body learns the pattern of health and starts to mirror it. I know you have tried everything, doctors, books, supplements, endless searching, and still the pain remains like an old friend who won't leave. But pain is not punishment. It is the body's cry for love, waiting for you to answer gently instead of with fear. So place a hand on the place that hurts. Whisper, "I love you. Thank you for staying with me. You can relax now." Feel the ease spread through that small act. Healing is never forced. It unfolds when you stop fighting and begin listening with tenderness. You were not meant to spend your life waiting for a diagnosis to free you. You were meant to walk in the knowing that your thoughts shape the chemistry of your blood, the rhythm of your heart, the strength of your immune system. Your beliefs are the medicine. Every time you affirm, "I am healed," you teach your subconscious what to create. Every repetition becomes a seed, every seed a new cell, every new cell a piece of evidence that wholeness is already happening within you. Speak it often. Your body is listening. There is a law in this universe. The body obeys the mind that loves. When you speak to yourself with kindness, the organs soften, the tension releases, the immune system awakens. When you scold yourself, the body hides. Speak love, and it returns to harmony. Think of the moments you felt truly peaceful, watching sunlight, hearing laughter, feeling grateful for no reason. Those moments are medicine. When you recreate that feeling deliberately, you invite healing chemicals to dance through you. Peace heals faster than pressure. Many believe healing takes years, but what if time was only a belief? Some heal in an instant, not because the illness vanished suddenly, but because they stopped resisting life. They chose peace now, and peace now is the shortest road to recovery. If you continue to act as the wounded one, life will mirror that role back to you. But if you rise each morning and act as the healed one, smiling, blessing, trusting, the universe rearranges itself to match your new identity. The outer must follow the inner. Let go of the question, "When will I heal?" Replace it with, "How can I love myself today?" Love is the most powerful healer on this planet. It dissolves guilt, releases fear, and restores order to chaos. Love is the light that re-educates every cell to thrive again. Perhaps you fear that claiming healing means denying reality, but faith is not denial, it is decision. You decide that your body's story will be rewritten by love, not by memory. The past describes you, it does not define you. Each breath writes a new script. You may have believed that illness makes you weak, but illness has been your teacher. It brought you here, to this moment of awareness, to this turning point where you learn to speak differently, think differently, live differently. You are graduating now. Act as though the healing has already occurred. Dress as though energy runs freely through you. Walk as though gratitude carries your steps. Speak as though joy were your native language. Life responds to such faith. It multiplies whatever you embody. If doubts arise, and they will smile at them, say, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but I am safe now." Then breathe deeply and return to the knowing. I am healed. I am free. I am whole. Repeat until it feels natural, until your heart believes what you say. Imagine your future self standing before you, radiant, strong, calm. She says, "Thank you for acting as if. Thank you for believing before you saw." Every time you practice this today, you borrow power from that future self until you and she become one. You are not waiting for a miracle, you are performing one. Each loving thought is surgery without pain, medicine without side effects. Every moment you choose peace instead of fear, the universe rearranges molecules in your favor. Healing is happening now. So breathe, place both hands over your heart and whisper, "I am healed and free." Say it slowly with reverence. Again, "I am healed and free." Feel your body sigh in agreement. This is how transformation begins, not in effort, but in acceptance. The mind that made pain through fear can unmake it through love. You are not a victim of your past thoughts. You are the author of new ones. And today, you are writing health, ease, and joy into every line of your being. Do not wait another sunrise to claim your power. The act of believing is itself the cure. The more you practice the posture of wellness, the more your cells align with that vibration. Life loves you. It has been waiting for your permission to prove it. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Speak kindly to yourself, act kindly toward your body, and imagine yourself already whole. The moment you do, healing begins to echo through every cell. You were never broken. You are only learning how to love. My darling, I want to begin by inviting you to lay down every idea you have carried about being the sick one, the fragile one, or the broken one. These words were never the truth of who you are. They were only descriptions born from moments of fear, repeated so often that they began to feel like a kind of identity. They settled around you like a heavy coat someone once placed on your shoulders, and you forgot that you could simply slip out of it. There was a time, long before you learned to judge your body, when you lived in a natural state of trust. When you were very small, you awoke each morning with openness, greeting the day with curiosity. You did not question your worth, nor did you measure your value by how you felt physically. You simply existed in harmony with yourself. You breathed without fear. You moved without suspicion. You trusted your body the way a bird trusts its wings. Yet as you grew, you learned to look at your body through the eyes of others. You were told to be careful, to watch out, to behave, to silence your impulses. You heard adults speak of illness as punishment, of pain as something shameful, frightening. Little by little, you began to believe that discomfort meant you had done something wrong. You began to mistrust your sensations, as though your own body were a mischievous creature waiting to betray you. It is astonishing how deeply childhood teachings shape the way we view ourselves decades later. A single comment from long ago can echo for years. Soon you found yourself repeating small thoughts, harmless at first, but persistent. I don't feel my best. Something feels off. Perhaps something is wrong with me. And as these thoughts returned, day after day, they carved grooves inside the mind like water shaping stone. What began as I feel unwell quietly transformed into I am unwell. Beliefs are simply thoughts you practice, and identity is simply a belief repeated until you no longer question it. When you say to yourself, "This is who I am," the body listens. The cells gather around that statement and begin to behave as though it were a command. You did not notice this happening. No one taught you that the body responds to the stories you tell about it, but it has been listening all along. Today we begin something new, not through force or struggle, but through kindness. I want you to imagine your body not as an enemy you must tame, but as a faithful servant who has carried the weight of your fears, your rushing, your tension, and your worries with remarkable devotion. Consider how hard it has worked to keep you moving, breathing, living. even when you spoke harshly about it or ignored its quiet pleas for rest. The body is not a broken machine. It is a friend who has been trying to help you with the tools it had. When it hurts, it is speaking. When it tightens, it is calling for comfort. When it slows down, it is asking you to pause. When you understand this, you begin to talk to it differently. A tone of gentleness enters your thoughts. You shift from demanding to listening, from criticizing to comforting. Many people come to me and say, "But Louise, if I stop identifying as the sick one, who am I?" And I smile with tenderness because this question is already a doorway to healing. Illness can become a familiar story, a companion we never wished for but learned to live with. Sometimes, without meaning to, we cling to that story because it gives us a role in life. Yet you are far more than any illness or label. You are the life within the body, not the condition surrounding it. Take a moment now to recall times in your life when you forgot your illness, perhaps during laughter with a friend, when beauty caught your breath, or when love wrapped around you like a soft blanket. In those moments, you were not holding the identity of the wounded one. You were simply yourself, open, present, alive. These moments are proof that your essence is greater than any diagnosis. Your wholeness has always been there, waiting beneath the noise of worry. Healing begins with remembering that truth, not inventing it, remembering it. Now, my darling, I want to introduce you to a gentle idea, one that has changed countless lives. It is the practice of acting as if, not pretending, not denying, but quietly stepping into the awareness that beneath every fear, every ache, every story of limitation, there is a deeper self untouched by illness. Acting as if means allowing that deeper self to guide your choices instead of the frightened voice of memory. Let me be very clear, you do not have to force yourself to believe you are healed when your mind still clings to doubt. Force has no place in healing. What I ask of you is much simpler. Be willing. Willingness opens doors that certainty cannot. Willingness says, perhaps I am not as broken as I once believed. Willingness says, maybe there is more strength in me than I have seen. Willingness says, what if wholeness has been waiting for my attention? This small willingness begins a quiet shift inside you. You feel less like a victim of your body and more like a partner in its journey. You begin to wonder what it might feel like to walk through your day with a little less fear. You start noticing when you speak about yourself in ways that shrink your spirit. You pause before repeating old stories that never truly served you. As you practice this, you will discover that the body responds beautifully to encouragement. When you say, I am willing to see myself as whole, a warmth spreads through you. When you say, a deeper part of me has always been safe, something loosens inside the chest, as though a tight knot has begun to unravel. These are not coincidences. These are signs that your inner self recognizes the truth in your words. Let me guide you through a few simple affirmations of identity, gentle, non-demanding, and deeply powerful. I am willing to see myself as whole. I am willing to release the idea that I am broken. There is a part of me that has always been safe. My true self is untouched by fear. Wholeness lives within me now. You do not need to shout these words. Whisper them softly. Let them drift through your thoughts like sunlight through a window. Every repetition plants a seed. Seeds do their work quietly beneath the surface, long before the first sprout appears. Now, I want you to reflect on how effortlessly you accepted negative thoughts in the past. When something hurt, you quickly said, I must be getting worse, or my body is failing me. You believed those statements with ease, not because they were true, but because you had practiced believing them. In the same way, with patient repetition, you can begin believing thoughts of healing, ease, and renewal. Picture the body as a room filled with old furniture, fear in one corner, doubt in another, the memory of past pain along the walls. You do not fix this room by tearing it apart. You gently open the windows. You let fresh air move through it. You bring in softer light. One day you discover that one piece of old furniture no longer belongs, and you carry it outside. Another day you find the courage to remove something else. Over time, the room transforms, not through force, but through steady, loving attention. This is what we are doing with your body and your mind. We are opening the windows. We are letting in fresh thought. We are bringing in kinder words. And the most beautiful part is that your body already knows how to respond. It has been waiting for permission. It has been waiting for you to speak to it as the beloved friend it is. When you begin acting as though healing is possible, even in the smallest ways, the body listens with recognition. Imagine now, just for a moment, rising from your bed in the morning with a little more softness. You sit up, place your hand gently over your heart, and breathe. You say quietly, I am willing to begin this day with peace. You stand slowly, not bracing yourself for pain, but allowing yourself to move with curiosity. You dress yourself with care, as though preparing for something good. These small acts are the first steps of acting as if. Throughout the day, you notice moments when you would normally describe yourself as the wounded one. Instead, you pause. You choose a new thought, not to deny what is happening, but to guide it. You say, I am learning to trust my body. You say, my body and I are on the same side. You begin to soften into the truth that you are not fighting yourself, you are healing yourself. Your body hears every whisper, it responds to your tone. Fear tightens, love loosens, criticism contracts, acceptance opens. The body does not need perfection to heal, it needs safety. And safety begins with the way you speak to yourself. Let us linger here a little longer, because this is the heart of transformation. When you stop telling the story of brokenness, even for a moment, something inside you stirs. A quiet strength rises. A sense of identity begins to shift. You may feel a small spark of self-recognition, as though remembering a part of yourself you thought you lost long ago. You were never broken, my darling. You were simply overwhelmed by years of fear that were never yours to carry. As we close this first part of our journey, place your hands gently over your heart. Feel the warmth of your own touch. Breathe slowly. Whisper these words, I am willing to remember my wholeness. I am willing to see beyond my fears. My true self is safe and strong. I am ready to live as though healing is possible. I am whole beneath everything I have believed. Let these words settle into you. Let them become the first soft notes of a new identity, one that has been waiting patiently for your attention. My darling, I want you to understand something that can change your entire experience of being alive. Every thought you think is a messenger. Each one carries an instruction, a tone, a feeling, and your body listens with exquisite sensitivity. When you say, even in passing, I am tired, the cells take note. When you whisper to yourself, I am weak, they respond. When you sigh, I am beyond repair, the body feels the weight of those words and tries to shape itself around them, believing it is only serving you. This is not cause for fear, it is cause for hope. For the very same body that responds to statements of weariness also responds to whispers of comfort. When you say, I am healing, the cells lean forward to receive the message. When you say, I am safe, the breath deepens. When you say, I am loved, a quiet warmth begins to move through you. The body does not resist love the way it resists fear. Love softens it. Love teaches it a new rhythm. I like to think of the body as a beautiful garden. Thoughts are the seeds. Some seeds grow into fragrant blossoms. Others grow into weeds that tangle and choke. Most of us planted our gardens without knowing what we were doing. We repeated fearful thoughts because we heard them from others. We rehearsed old worries because they felt familiar. Before we knew it, the garden became crowded with plants we never intended to grow. But here is the miracle. Gardens can be tended. Soil can be enriched. Weeds can be gently removed. And new seeds, loving seeds, can be planted at any time. The moment you begin offering your body kinder thoughts, you begin changing the soil in which your health grows. Healing is a tender gardener, pulling out what no longer serves, planting what does, watering it with repetition and warmth. Fear has a physical effect. When you think fearfully, the muscles tighten as though bracing for a blow. Breathing becomes shallow, as if the body expects danger. Digestion slows, waiting for safety to return. Sleep becomes restless, because the mind is still guarding itself. These are not signs of failure. They are signs that the body is trying to protect you. It believes the fearful thoughts and reacts accordingly. But loving thoughts have their own physical magic. When you speak gently to yourself, the shoulders drop a little, the belly relaxes, the jaw loosens. The breath finds a deeper path. It may be subtle at first, but the body hears the shift in tone. It recognizes kindness the way a flower recognizes sunlight. You may not see rapid changes, but you will feel moments of relief, a loosening here, a softening there. These are the first whispers of healing. Let us try something together. Place your hands on the place in your body that aches or feels weak. Perhaps it is a shoulder that has carried too many burdens. Perhaps it is the stomach where old fear has settled. Perhaps it is the heart, bruised by worry. Wherever it is, rest your warm hands there. Let your touch be gentle, like holding a small bird. And now, say softly, I am here with you, I thank you. You may rest now. Feel how the body responds. It might sigh, it might warm beneath your touch. It might release something small and subtle. It might give no sign at all, yet still feel your words the way a child feels a mother's hand. Your body has been waiting for kindness. It has been longing for this tone. Over the years, I have heard so many stories of people who lived in constant self-criticism. They scolded their bodies for every ache. They looked in the mirror with disappointment. They approached illness like a battle, as though fighting themselves would somehow bring relief. But when they began blessing their bodies instead of attacking them, remarkable changes occurred. Aches softened, sleep improved, energy